Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I'm back with another video here. So the Flyers win 4 in a row. Game 39 was very, very fun for the Flyers. They beat the Arizona Coyotes by a final score of 6-2 tonight. A lot of good stuff. I mean, realistically, if you're looking at this for the Flyers, nobody played bad. I mean, it's kind of, I guess, weird to say. Because the Flyers have had a tough season for the most part, but these last couple of games have been very enjoyable. And I'm sorry, I've been thinking about this, and I just want to put this out there. Like, I genuinely don't care if the Flyers win or lose. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make me change my feeling on what they are, or I guess the whole Bedard thing, right? And everybody wants them to just suck and just lose every game possible, which it makes sense, but they're not going to do it. It's not. There are many other issues here besides just getting Bedard. And even if you were to literally bottom out and just take on every, horrible contract or whatever, like some other teams have talked about doing, even though the Flyers are in a different situation with that, but if you were to just purposely lose, you still have to win the lottery anyway. And just by the way that the schedule goes and the way the Flyers have been scoring recently, even though for most of the part of the season they're very low in goals for, power play's obviously been a struggle and things like that. Like, they're not going to continue at this pace. I mean, they've scored 4 goals or more in all 4 of these games that they've won. 4 against San Jose, 4 against the Kings, 4 against the Ducks, and 6 tonight against Arizona. So it's not like the Flyers are just going to continue to just like be bad. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to, it's not like they're going to always continue being horrible. There's going to be games where they come and win, and it's the same thing when they're good. There's going to be games where you just play bad. And I never really thought they were going to be a bottom of the basement team anyway. I mean, I never really said that publicly, but I have at times on certain things, whether it was the podcast or things like that. And, I just think for what they are at the moment, wins like this against a team like Arizona are good. Like, you're supposed to beat these teams, and, you have to actually win games to move on and rebuild. And, the Flyers haven't really admitted it, and certain games like this can kind of help guys with, just overall the confidence in the way that they're playing, things like that. But getting into the game, the names like with Frost and Tippett, Farabee, Cates, Konechny, Hazelot, and Allison, Delorier, Brown, McEwen, they've gone with the same offense for the Lions for the past handful of games. The Provorov with York, Sanheim and D'Angelo, Sealer and Ristolainen and Carter Hart would be in net for this one for the first time since December 23rd. He was cleared. He was good to go. And he didn't face too many shots for most of this game. Just an onslaught in the third. I shouldn't really say an onslaught, because it wasn't even really an onslaught. It was just the Coyotes had a good chunk of shots at the net, but nothing was really too crazy. And it was also 5-2, 6-2 at that point anyway. First period, honestly, I like the whole Flyers game tonight. From puck drop. It was basically a shootout, where it's like Coyotes come down with a chance and the Flyers come down with a chance. And zone time was very apparent. It was very obvious the Flyers had the edge in zone time for most of this game. There was at one point in the third period where the Coyotes had, it was shown on the TV broadcast, the Coyotes had like 7.5, 8 minutes or so of actual zone time, and the Flyers had around 13 minutes. And that was around, again, 7 minutes left in the third. So, for most of the game, probably around 14, 15 minutes, around that range of zone time, which is good. It means you pretty much, for a good chunk of the game, the puck was in the Coyotes' end, and the Flyers were able to, take advantage of that. They would go down, they would give up the first goal, though, which in the past couple of games, they gave up the first goal to San Jose, the first goal to Los Angeles, scored against Anaheim, but they still were able to make comebacks in some of them games as well. And Carcone, I believe that's how you say his name. He would score, and it was kind of a weird play because before this, the Flyers again it was like a shootout back and forth, and the Flyers had some good chances and some good looks, and they had a good shift before the goal by the I believe it was the Tippett line, and they were deep in the zone, and just overall, really everybody played well in the first for the Flyers, and it was kind of an unfortunate play because Sealer was kind of caught. He jumped and he got beat. Unfortunately, they chipped it by him and they went past in and it deflected off of Hart's arm and just rolled in. It's like, okay, it's 1-0. I thought overall it was kind of unfortunate because, again, the Flyers had a good chunk of shifts and good overall zone time and pressure before that. It was a good shift by the Hayes line. I thought Hayes had a really good game. And then the now Flyers All-Star who was selected, I will say that was stunning a little bit. Not that I don't think Hayes offensively, again, I've been critical of Hayes just defensively, but offensively he's been great. Like I like Hayes. I don't want anybody to think I don't like Hayes, because I do. It's just I think that there was more there defensively. I thought in this game, I thought he was fantastic. Like, he was good all over the ice. Defensively, offensively, scores the goal. He had the play that led to Allison's goal before that. He had forced a couple turnovers behind the net. Like, he had a really strong game, and that definitely gave him some confidence getting announced to the All-Star game. We'll see if anyone else gets added for the Flyers. But, again, he was really good tonight, and the Flyers will get a power play after this. Wasn't horrible. Had a couple looks from the second unit. They kind of struggled on entries. Then they had another power play late. Again, there was only 8 seconds left. They tried for a play out the faceoff, but it got cleared, and that was the end of the first. But overall, it was a good period. It was a good period. They didn't score. They outshot Arizona. They scored that one kind of fluky goal, right, where it's like goes off of Hart's back. But then, like, as the connecting goal to start the period, I remember last year in the home opener in the game against Vancouver, in the shootout game, or Giroux scored that disgusting goal off the bank off the bank pass off the back of Demko. There was a play that the Canucks did in the first maybe like 10 seconds of the third, where Hughes fired a slap pass all the way down the ice, and Miller got it and just literally fired it like a one-timer, and it went all the way around the ice, or all the way around the glass, excuse me. Just went all the way out. And I'm like, that's actually a sick play, because you slow the play down and you have no idea what's happening, then you think it's an icing, and it's like, whoa. That's exactly what the Flyers did. Frost just kind of like shimmied. He didn't even really skate. He just fires a pass. D'Angelo right over a Kennedy slam dunk. It's just like little things like that where you've seen that long stretch bang pass off the wall, and if you get it where it hits the trim of the wall, it just comes right back out. And it was a beautiful play. So 1-1. Coyotes would score right after. They have some pressure. Again, that's been a problem for the Flyers all year. There's been a goal, and they've given up either a grade A quality chance, they've almost scored, hit the post or whatever, or they scored a goal and Richie ended up making it 2-1. It could have been goal interference. They didn't review it though. Flyers had a couple really nice chances in tight. Hayes had a really nice pass in tight for Brown. Again, I thought Hayes had a great game tonight, and Konechny would score, or excuse me, Farabee would score off of a Konechny pass in tight for Frost. Farabee just slam dunked Johnny on the spot. Beautiful. It was a really, really nice pass from Konechny to find Frost going to the net. And Frost had a really good game too. Like, you see on the stat board, it's all like just jumbled because they scored 6 goals and so many guys played well. But again, like Frost, he had a four assist game. He's got 19 points on the season. He's another guy that, again, you wanted around 40 points. He's already got 20, for the year. We'll just, round the 19 to 20. But, for what it is and for where the Flyers were at this point, the shots at one point in this period were 11-1 Flyers. Attempts were 40-14. D'Angelo had a really nice play to strip the Coyotes on the 3-on-1, and then Tippett had a chance, but he got stripped, and then Hayes made the really nice play on Keller. Allison goes down the ice, slam dunk. He looks so excited after the goal. Like, I love that. I absolutely love when certain guys are chipping in. Like, Allison gets a goal. Tippett gets a point. Frost with 4 assists. York had an assist in this game. Provorov gets a goal as well. That's gets his second of the season. And he scored a couple minutes later here to make it 4-2. It was a really nice pass by Hayes. Just fired it high glove. And it was a really good play because Lawton drove the net, and now Provorov's fourth all time in goals by a Flyers defenseman. Passing Gostisbehere with 61. He's 6 behind Joe Bladen with 67 for Bladen. But 2 quick goals from the Flyers, and then they get a power play, and then it would be 5-2. It was a really nice play because I put that tweet up the other day about Frost and how, like, he uses that play where he kind of fakes the shot and then it opens up more ice for him. And he did it here, but he didn't have any ice. The Coyotes collapsed on him. He turned around, found connect, and he just passed right over to Hayes, who was wide open, one-timer. Beautiful play. And, again, they just exploded. Just a very good period. And they've been able to just create so much offense because they're winning. I think they're more confident because they're winning. And I think they're just overall, they've been able to get more plays deep in the zone. And the forecheck has been so critical to them winning these couple of games where, like, they just create havoc. And the one thing I loved about the third after, and it was 5-2, at the end of the second period, Hart had a couple nice saves on Keller after the goal. I mean, again, they had 19 shots. They scored 5 goals. I mean, they just dominated in play. And, in the third, they kept on it. And it wasn't like they stopped or sat back or anything like that, because I think everybody remembers the last game against Arizona where it's kind of back and forth a little bit. Both teams had some looks. Coyotes would score. They scored first in that one. They ended up winning in overtime, and Flyers should have won that game. And it was really only one line that did it that night, and it was the JVR Frost and Tippett line. And tonight it was everybody. Again on the board, I got TK with 3 points, Hayes with 3 points. Like, all these different guys scored. Provorov, Allison. Even the Flyers' fourth line, for what this was, were shooting from everywhere. I mean, nobody played bad in this game. I really liked Ristolainen again. I thought he made some really nice plays. He's been really good since coming out of the break. Just overall, I mean, these are the things that you want to build on. I mean, I understand everybody wants a high pick. And look, I'd love a high pick. I'd love anybody. Bedard, Carlson, Mitchkov, whoever. Doesn't matter. At this point, obviously you want Bedard, but I don't think the Flyers are going to be that bad to get Bedard. I mean, I could be wrong. And again, I just have the feeling too that with the way that the scoring has been for the season and the way that they're playing, and even the schedule. I mean, you look at these past 4 games. You have Anaheim, you have San Jose, you have LA, and you have Arizona. Obviously not in the right order, but the only really win that's surprising to me is LA. And that was a close game. Flyers got a late goal from Cates, shorthanded nonetheless, and they win the game. Like, and things like that. I honestly think that there are some people that just don't want to believe that the Flyers are at least like a little bit better than what everybody says, because I don't actually think they're that bad as what everybody makes it out to be. I think clearly I know that they're missing guys. I'm not saying they're a great team, but I think they're much better than a Chicago or like of Columbus or an Anaheim or something. Like, I think they're kind of a little bit better than that, and that can be a good thing, and it also could be a bad team. I mean, it's not really like the best thing right now to, I guess, lose all these, or I guess I should say win all these games, right? Because, you want to, I guess, get lower in the standings to have that type of pick, and I understand that. I'm not complaining about getting a Bedard or anyone like that. He's a generational talent. But I think part of the thing is just, I said this last year too, when everybody was saying that they're just going to keep losing, and none of those guys, I don't think, care at all where the Flyers pick in June. Like, I don't think any of them care. Obviously Torts doesn't care. It's pretty clear. I think if you asked it to him, he'd be like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Because I think there's other issues. And look, I'm not saying this because I want because I want the Flyers to lose or to win or anything like that. I'm in the middle. Like, I had no expectation going into this year. And for what they are, I think it's good that you're getting some of these wins. And again, I think the losses will even out. I mean, you look at the schedule coming up. You have Toronto, you have Buffalo, you have Washington twice. I mean, it's not going to get any easier for them. I mean, they're always. But again, you have to be able to build other things too. And hey, maybe they get lucky. We'll see. I mean, look, I'm not riding away. I just don't like tanking either. So there's that. But look, it was a really good game overall. I thought a lot of guys played well for the Flyers. But for to have a really tough end to, I guess, before the Christmas break, where you had like those couple tough games where you came close and you were in the game. It doesn't really shock me that they're winning these games, because they played well enough in some of those games against Toronto and Carolina to even go into these couple of games and win. So hey, it is what it is. There's been a lot of improvement, even though that they're winning. Certain guys, the guys that you want to get points are getting points. So it is what it is. Tippett, he's got 21 points on the season. Frost, he's got 19 points on the season. Like, that's what you wanted to say. So let me know what you guys thought below from tonight. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to check out the podcast, all of that stuff, and the watch party coming up for January 14th as the Flyers take on the Capitals. That's the game's at 7 o'clock. Stream will start at 6:30 here on YouTube. Come join in and watch the Flyers game with me. And yeah, thanks everybody so much, and I'll talk to you all again soon.